Hello gamers, welcome to another edition of Tonight on Mage Hammer's Game Table, where tonight I begin my solo campaign featuring Tiny Supers by Bahr, published by Gallant Games. It's rules light, minimalist even, superhero rule set using the Tiny D6 engine. My go-to superhero game when I want to play superheroes because I think it works the best. If you'd like more information about it, go check out my issue 0 for this campaign, my last video. But here we are in the storyline. So, issue 1 happens in Medias Res. The heroes, not quite sure what's going on, have been called out on a call. This team has decided to band together, and they have yet to name themselves. They were a recent banding together. They banded together against some bank robbers not too long ago and decided that they work very well together. So they're going to be a team. And like I said, they still haven't decided on a team name, but they have basically tacitly accepted Blink as their leader with her military training. She's really good at organizing things. And then the next up is Stonewall. He's a rock guy. Note about Stonewall, by the way, in my issue 0, I was doing the base level character creation in the book, but what I realized when I was looking at my other heroes getting ready for this adventure was that I actually had scaled up the other characters. Let me show you this. So I scaled him back up. So what I mean by scale up is this game is allows you to ramp up the game. That section there was right there in front of me the whole time. I didn't want to do street level, which is low level. Also, in the comments of my issue 0, someone mentioned that there is a Fallen Justice, which is pretty much all street level. So I say go pick that up if you want. I have it. It's really good. I'm just moving towards more superpowers. Anyway, the base is the base. And then super team, everyone gets 5 powers. Substituting traits is normal. That's what I had done when I designed all these characters. So I gave Stonewall an additional tier of strength and an additional tier of armor, giving him the 5. So he is extra tough now, and actually it's a lot more in line with what I wanted to do for him. So his tier 3, he gets an additional +1, so he's actually at +2 damage for his super strength. And then his armor, his rock skin, he is +2 stress capacity. Now he's at 12 stress capacity because as a brute he had 10. And he gets to reduce all damage he can reduce it by 2 up to 0. So that was, that's Stonewall. So I had to make a modification to him for this campaign to bring him up to speed with the other heroes. Next up is Geomorph. He manipulates the elemental stone. So he's powered up to Earth 3, so he can do some pretty cool stuff. And he also has Snare 1, so he can like stop them from doing slow people down with his earth powers. And then we have the Phantom Avenger. He is kind of like the lone wolf of the team, but is still sticking around with these folks because he believes in them. And he is basically your street level vigilante, but wealthy. What's my superpower? I'm rich. Yeah, so it's that guy. So he is yeah. All right, so they've all come to the scene. Apparently something has been tearing up the downtown area. Some of the buildings in this area are already ruined. Cars are scattered everywhere across the street. And they're like, the reports that are coming in from Phantom Avenger's AI, Ghost, G-H-O-S-T, is that something large came up from the ground, as far as they can tell. The reports that the AI's been monitoring the bands and has started wreaking havoc. Don't know why or anything, but as they approach, Blink is like, let's be careful, boys. Very careful. All right. First off, head in there, Stonewall, see if you can find anything. You're taking the lead. I've got point. So he goes on. And then just as he comes around the corner, crashing out of the ground is this massive, huge, bug-like creature, and Stonewall goes, I found him. Okay, so it's right into it. It's initiative. So in the updated version of Tiny D6, each hero rolls a test, which is a standard test, which in Tiny D6 is 2 dice, and they're looking for 5s or 6s. Anybody that rolls a 5 or a 6 on any of their die will go before the creature, and anybody after who doesn't will go after. So Blink will be going after. Here, let me get a die out. So where am I going to track initial? I'm going to try to track it down. Is that on camera? Yeah, so there. All right, so, oh man, I'll move it over here. Blink is going after. Wow. Phantom Avengers going after. Oh my goodness. Geomorph is going after. They're all going after. Stonewall's out. They're all after. So this creature comes right across the street and attacks Stonewall. Okay, so the creature, it is, I'm going to give it advantage with its big claws. And I'm also going to allow it, yeah, I'm going to have 2 claw attacks. So here we go. First, and they're heavy weapons, and it has super strength, so it's going to do 3 damage for each. No, I'm going to say 4, because he's big, so I'm going to make him 4. I'm just going to make him 4 damage if he hits. That's, you know, it's uncalled for, but this is tiny supers. So he's going to do 4 damage with each claw. First attack. Oh, he had to make 2 actions, so he moved, and then he attacked with one of his claws. He didn't get to attack with both, so he got, boom, he got a 5, he got a 6 and a 5, so whatever. So he hit, does 4 damage with one of his claws. So Stonewall has -2, so he takes 2 damage from that off of his 12. So Stonewall is at 10 stress capacity, and he is toe-to-toe with this monstrous big thing. So now we're just gonna jump right into him. He's gonna attack. He did not have to move, so he gets 2 attacks, 1 with each fist. First attack, he misses. Can't get quite through the thing. It has massively armored carapace, so I'm going to give it the armored superpower up to 3, so he's pretty much as well armored as Stonewall. Second attack, and Stonewall finally lands a punch with his metal fist bands and his super strength. So he's super strength 2, and he is also, yeah, super strength 2. Yeah, okay. And so, oh yeah, okay. So he gets an additional point of damage up to +2. So he gets 3 damage on this creature, and it has armored superpower, so that is going to reduce his damage. Just double check. I double checked all this before the game, but I don't keep things well in my head. All right, so reduce. Yeah, it's gonna reduce up to 0. So he did 3 damage, so it takes 1 damage, and it has a pretty big stress capacity, as you can imagine. Let's see how big stress, but we'll do that. All right, so it's down to that. All right, so that is Stonewall's attack. Next up, Blink is going to, no, Blink's gonna wait and see how things go. Phantom Avenger is going to move, hop up on top of this car, and then he's not 100% sure he's going to be able to hurt this thing with any of his weapons, so he's got to figure something else out. So he's got some stun bombs, but he doesn't want to catch Stonewall in it, but you know what? He's just going to do it. All right, so stun bombs I think might be a creation of mine, so I don't remember if it's in the book or not when I created this character, so I'm going to make it up. All right, so... Oh wait, should be something stun in here. Somebody has a stun thing, I'm pretty sure. All right, I'm not gonna spend too much time on this, so I'm just gonna kind of take it as it goes. All right. All right. So Blink's a little freaked out by this thing, but it's not, because she doesn't like giant spiders, but this is not quite spidery enough. So he's going to throw a stun bomb at this thing. So I'm going to see if he hits. It is a ranged, and he is, it's in his weapon group. He is not mastered in it, though. So he's going to throw a stun bomb, and he hits. So the stun bomb's going to go off, and this thing has to make a save test, but because of its power and armor and stuff, I'm going to make it, it's going to have advantage, and it fails. So it is momentarily stunned, which I think, because it's so big, I'm going to say it only gets 1 action next time it attacks. Okay, I think that's fair. All right, So Geomorph is going to move into a position here by this car, and he's going to send rocks and things throwing at this with his blast power, with his elemental earth blasts. So he has elemental control, earth, and so at the tier 3, he can make the earth buckle with his, yeah, he could do that, but here it is. You gain the tier 2 blast power, your tier 2 elemental control, earth stress capacity, bonus increase +6. So tier 2 blast power, which means his blast does 1 extra point of damage, for a total of 2 damage. So he's not sure. He's going to try it, see if he's going to hurt it. I think I hadn't thought about it before now, but I think I might keep my crit rules from my Tiny Frontiers campaign, which is if you roll all successes, you do an additional D3 points of damage, both for the enemy as well as the heroes. So we're going to do that. So he's going to throw a bunch of stones and rocks and rubble and stuff at this creature with his power. Wow. And he misses. Okay. Oh, all that and that. And then Blink, she's going to use her power to teleport on top of it, and she's going to smash it with her fighting batons. Let's see if that helps her out. All right, so she attacks with her fighting batons, and she hits. Now, she is a striker, so that means that she has powerful blows, which is an archetype trait for the striker, which I believe gives her +1 to her damage. I checked it before the game, but of course I have to triple check things because that's the way my brain works. Damage you deal cannot be reduced below 1. Sweet. So she hits it so hard, bam, she does 1 point of damage to the creature. I like that. Good. All right. So she did something. All right, so now it is initiative. The creature is stunned, only gets 1 action this turn. So Phantom Avenger goes before, Blink goes before, Geomorph goes before, and Stonewall goes before. So complete opposite of the last combat round. And just a note that in the Tiny D6 games, initiative's cyclical according to rules as written. So you make 1 initiative for the combat and you just keep going round and round in that order. I prefer the drama and suspense and tactical shifting of rolling at the beginning of every round. I figure the game is so fast anyway. Why not do that? It helps with the tactical situation, at least in my game. So that's just a little side note for those of you interested in Tiny Supers. That's not how it works in Raw, but it's rules as written, but it's how I do it. Okay, so now let's see what we want. Stonewall is going to keep pounding on this thing. Bam! So he hits, almost a crit. He does, I'm going to have him, he does 3 damage. So 1 damage plus 2 more. So 3 damage to this thing. Its damage is reduced by 2, so it takes 1 more from his punch. And his second punch, oh man, almost another crit. That's crazy. So he does another 2 damage. All right, and then Geomorph, he has powerful blows. Oh, so it should do at least 1 damage, but he missed completely though. So yeah, so he's gonna try that again. This time maybe twice. So he misses. He keeps throwing that rubble and rock at this thing and it just doesn't. All right, so he finally hit. Man, look at that 653. That's come up like 3 times in a row out of 4 rolls. That's crazy fun. All right, so he actually hits. His damage only does 2, but it's so powerful it does at least 1. So he hits that thing for 1 stress capacity damage. All right. Blink, she pounds on this thing. Bam, bam, with her her batons, and yes, she gets a crit. So she does 1 point of damage, and she does an additional D3, which I think I will, yeah. Since its armor power reduces all damage by 2, I'll have that crit damage be an additional piece of damage. So if it rolled a 3, he would only take 1, and otherwise it would not damage him, but she rolled a 1, so it did not get through. I think that's fair, given the creature. And then second attack. And she hits again, so it does a minimum of 1 damage each of those times. And the creature is like, it's letting off this high-pitched keening, and it's like, not so much that it's doing any damage, it's just really, really annoying. All right, and now Phantom Avenger, he is going to grab onto one of its claws with his grappling hook, gun, and rope. And then he's going to try to, yeah, okay, so he's grappling hook. To me, that's range, so it's a standard test. And he gets it, so it wraps around the creature's arm. And now he's going to move over towards this wall, and he's going to try on the next round to secure it unless he gets thrown around. So that was his action. All right, now the creature, since it's stunned by that stun bomb last round, which is only going to last a round, it only gets one attack, and it knows that there's something on top of him hurting him, but this rock thing in front of him is of much more interest to him, so he's going to pound down with its claw, and he hits with a bam, and does, so Stonewall... So Stonewall's going to take 1 damage. Okay. 1 damage to his stress capacity. All right, so now it's initiative. All right, so Blink is before, and so is Geomorph. The other two are after. So Blink and Geomorph there, and Stonewall and Phantom Avenger after, so that's not going to go well for Demolition. And he's not stunned this time. All right, so Blink, pound, pam. She's going to smash on him with her fighting batons. No crit, but she does a point of damage because her powerful blows make it through. She smacks again. Pretty powerful fighting baton. She missed, not able to get through that time. Then that was her action. Next up, we'll do block. He's going to pound, pound both fists, 2 attacks. Boom, that's a hit. Oh, yes, and a crit. All right, so each hit does at least 1 damage when he hits because of his superpowers. Then one of them is a crit, so he's going to roll D3, and then we'll apply his armor to that crit. And so that crit does not get through. I think that's a fair way to play. All right, and then... wait, I thought there were 2 people going after. But my initiative is set up. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. We'll just have Geomorph throw his stones at this thing. Okay, finally hits, and he does 1 damage. And he throws more rocks at this creature. And hits with a crit. So he does 1 damage. And then he's going to do at least 1 damage with this crit. Oh, yeah. Maybe I should have done that with Blink, too. Yeah, so we'll take out 1 more. Since I'm treating it as separate damage, it automatically does 1 if you have powerful blows. So he does a D3, so that's 1 more damage. So it's doing at least 1 more damage with when he hits it with all those rocks. Bam, 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 bam. Rocks flying everywhere, smashing into its carapace. All right, cool. Now it attacks. It's going to attack Stonewall again. So... because Phantom Avenger has not secured his ensnared claw, Phantom Avenger is going to have to make... he's an acrobat, though, so he's going to get advantage on the roll to be able to not take any damage when that... So this claw swings in at Stonewall and hits... ooh, almost a crit. And does... what am I saying? 3 damage, Stonewall 2, 1. So Stonewall takes another point of damage from a blow from this subterranean creature that's come up to wreak havoc in the city center. And then second claw. All right, he's not secured, so he's going to swing with it. And it is not a crit, but it does damage again. Stonewall takes yet another point of damage. And then we're going to have Phantom Avenger. He's going to make 2 separate save tests, but I'm going to give it to him because he has acrobat. First one is to hold on to the rope, and he fails to hold on to the rope. So the second one doesn't have to happen because the second one was going to be him getting swung around and dropped. So the rope is now dangling off of the creature's claw, and now Phantom Avenger is going to have to... he goes last in the round, so he now is going to run over and try to grab the rope. So since he's an acrobat, I'm going to give him advantage on that. And he does. He grabs the rope up, but he has to move a little bit to grab it. So he's got it, and then he moves this way again. He's still not able to secure it. So we're going to go through that whole thing again next round. And we'll see what happens. Wants to secure it to get rid of one of his weapons. Oh, no. All right, so, well, at least he goes before the creature. So does Blink. So does Geomorph. Only Stonewall is going after the creature. While this is happening, Phantom Avenger is getting a message from his AI through his helmet. And it is saying that there is a break-in at Eastgate Labs across town. But he doesn't have time to think about that. So, moving on. All right, so Geomorph just keeps trying to smash, throwing rocks and rubble, bam, bam, at this creature. And he hits, doing 1 damage. Creature's starting to stagger a teeny bit. Second set of rocks flying at this creature. Oh, missed. So it does not penetrate his carapace that time. Blank is smashing away with the super hard fighting baton she has. Missed and hit. Minimum 1 damage. All right, and then Phantom Avenger gets to go before the creature. So he is going to jump. He is going to secure the rope with a python into the ruins of this stone wall where he's at. And so that is going to be a test to see if he can effectively put it in there. And he does. Then he is going to run back to the car to get himself into a position to be able to throw stun bomb next round. So he's hoping that that is strong enough to at least hinder that creature's claw for a second attack. Well, we're going to find out right now. So the creature swings with 1 claw at Stonewall and misses. The second claw, I'm going to have him make a strength test to see if the rope is enough to hold him. And he fails. So the rope holds, and that claw tries to, and the python is holding barely, but he does not get his second attack on Stonewall because the rope is holding secured to that wall. And now Stonewall himself gets to strike back with 2 punches. So he hits 1, so that's 1 damage. And he hits again, so that's 2 damage against this creature. Initiative. The creature is starting to stagger a bit. It's taking these mighty blows from rocks and super-powered fighting batons and super-powered metal-banded fists. And he's tied down and all kinds of stuff going on. All right, so Blank goes before, Geomorph goes before, but Stonewall and Phantom Avenger go after. All right, whoo, let's get him. All right, so Geomorph, throw those rocks. Rock thrower, boom, miss, and hits. 1 damage from his powerful blow from the stones. And Blink maybe take him down with a critical hit. Let's see. Bam! Fighting baton. Hit. 1 damage. Second blow. Boom! Almost a crit. 2 more damage. This creature is staggering. It's taking so much damage from these. It just doesn't even know what's going on. And so now it attacks Stonewall and hits. 1 damage to Stonewall. And then strength test to rip the rope out. And he does not. That rope is holding. Way to go, Phantom Avenger. Stonewall just starts to pummel this thing with his fists. First attack, hit. Second attack, hit. Boom! Blink acrobats off and lands on the street in her hero pose. The creature falls backwards and just fells, and the ground rumbles from the weight of the creature. And its arms outstretched towards the rope. Cannot escape. And Stonewall's like, what was that? Blake's like, I don't know. And Phantom Avenger jumps up on top of the car and says, we don't have time. There's been a break-in across the town at the Eastgate Labs. I have a feeling this was just a distraction. And Geomorph's like, what has the power to summon such a formidable creature out of the earth to do such horrible damage? I don't know. But we need to get to Eastgate Labs. We need to investigate that. Blink's like, all right. I've been to Eastgate Labs several times. Should I send you or Stonewall? I can teleport you there immediately, and the rest of us will have to make it there on our own. Phantom Avenger goes, I have a car. You two can come with me. Stonewall may not fit. Send him. All right, so her teleport power allows her... You can teleport a target with a successful melee attack to go to any location you're familiar with, but since he's willing, I'm just going to let it happen. So she walks up, says, go get him, buddy. And go get him, buddy. So she touches him, and he teleports away, and he's going to appear in front of Eastgate Labs. And what he sees when he gets there, or what he encounters when he gets there, we will find out in the next episode of Tiny Supers. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. I had a lot of fun having that superhero fight. And until next time, keep on rolling dice and playing games. Mage Hammer out.